Hi, welcome back to Veterans Onward to Prosperity. I'm your host, Master Sergeant Retired Anna Maria Bliven. And I just used a terminology that I just realized maybe what do you mean by chew the fat? Well, that's just that's from our generation,
Mhm.
folks. It's like just saying we're going to talk about that. And for a moment we are. Tell you what, being a veteran has got its pros and cons, just like what Michael said. It's got its ups and downs also. But we also have some sideways stuff that takes place too, in the way that we have been exposed to things. We know we've been exposed to things. We read and research about the impact that exposure is having on us, our lives, the quality of life, and everything that surrounds that. And then we wonder why it is that where we can get our answers aren't there for us. And that brings me to 222 to save 22.
Mhm.
We have an awesome opportunity to reverse what is taking place with military suicides. I don't know about you, Michael, but I'm really excited about this.
Oh, absolutely. It's um suicide. One suicide is too much, but as many as they have, it's how do I politely say it? It's flat out unacceptable.
It is
And,
totally unacceptable.
and it's unacceptable in any case. I mean, and not only is it,
Right.
with COVID, safety and public service. I mean, like I thank you for your service and everything, and I'll thank any veteran for he or she's service. Um, Public safety, it's horrible what's happening with some of them.
I
Every
know.
time I hear about it, I feel, it's a it's it kind of it's a burden or a weight on me every
But
time I hear
Michael, as you're well aware, because of all the postings and the LinkedIn and the Twitter and the Facebook, and we're getting the word out, and this is just the inaugural
about it.
222 to Save 22 special day of events taking place at the Kalahari Resort. Thank you, Kalahari Resort in Wisconsin Dells. And we're gathering together online and on site, and it's so exciting because we have a special day of full of events from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just a full day of events. Think of it as a state fair, but instead of running a whole week, it's just a one day.
Mhm.
But all the events is on 2-22 to save22.com. But Michael, isn't it exciting that we kind of cracked the code? We
Mhm.
know that when you're transitioning, you're going from a unit of people to now by yourself. And
Correct.
right? And then there's that factor of loneliness and isolation. And not only that, but you don't know what you don't know. So
Correct.
if you're not in the National Guard or Army Reserve, where you're a weekend warrior and you have a full-time job, and it's just a matter of putting your boots away and you're hanging up your uniform so you don't have to go to drill anymore, and
Mhm.
you're in a full-time military where that was your full-time job.
Sure.
Oh my goodness. I'm finding out from a lot of our brothers and sisters that they're just not prepared for that. And if you're in a situation of loneliness, isolation, you just don't know what you don't know, you're overwhelmed. And then who do you turn to? You just said in the situation of the burn pits, there's something going on there, but
Mhm.
we're not getting any guidance. We're not getting any information that would help us move forward past that. Well, the same goes for a military transition person.
Correct.
They're not getting any information or guidance to help them move forward, and instead they're going in a dark place.
Correct.
And you and I, Mike, we know what that's all about.
Oh, it's yeah, and like we said, even reserve or guard status, um, it's hard. I mean, I felt a big separation. I mean, I still have friends that are still in it, and I won't deny there are some weekends. Oh gosh, I got to go to drill, and even some annual training. But you miss that constant camaraderie, and that's why I moved into other events too, like DEV Winter Sports Clinic. That's where I pulled me out of my funk when I got on skis again, and now I'm working on doing triathlons. I got to have the association with veterans. It doesn't matter
Yes.
what generation, what ethnic background,
Yes.
because we're all brothers and sisters from somebody else, but we all speak a common dialect. and you
Yes.
got to have that connection, you know.
Yeah, that community. We had that community and camaraderie, and it was taken away when we
Right.
were when we left. So we have to build it back, and we're going to do that. With
Hmm.
Project Die Hard at McKenna, Illinois is the first location with his 10,000 square foot building and 20 acres that was given to him. They just gave them a deed and
Okay.
said, have the home front forward operating base right here. Now
Okay.
you know what a fob is. Of course you were in it. You know you were based out of it. But how about a home front fob? Now we're talking.
Correct. And it's just like I say, it's just the association, and you know, it's what you know. I feel like, you know, it's with COVID the last couple of years, I haven't been able to spend as much lifetime or live time with some of my fellow veterans or injured warriors. Finally got to go back last summer, but it was kind of controlled or condensed. Um, Really messed it, and you know, that's the reason the suicides, I think, went up even more during this COVID, which is, you know, it's painful and shameful. And
Yes, it is. And to be honest, from 22 to over 30, we've got to put a stop to this.
correct.
It's time it was time several decades ago, but we are really this is it. Okay, when we crack the code, we did crack the code.
Okay.
It's isolation, it's overwhelming, it's not knowing who to turn to, and you don't know what you don't know. All of that gets taken care of with a Veterans Coalition working together at a single location where 12 single veterans can be housed and get employment and get treatment and get all of the resources that is possible, but also a credit and background repair because for going off the rails, they probably have some credit and background issues. And let's not forget about my fellow sisters
Hmm.
at arms. We also have some issues that need to be addressed, and it will be with the Veterans Coalition. I'm so excited that we are all playing in the same sandbox. Can you believe it?
Yep. That is absolutely awesome. So,
6 nonprofit organizations, veteran service nonprofit organizations, all playing in the same
yeah.
sandbox.
Well, and I refer my veteran friends or community, I refer it to, like I said, the DEV a couple of years ago when I was interviewed. I say, this is my family away from my family. Nothing against my family. I love my family. I love my wife. I love my daughter. Of course, I love my service dog and other, you know, animals at home, but it's my family away from my family. If I don't, I feel the disconnect, it's not good. I need that, what do you call it, the recharge. And I will say one more thing about that. I mean, I went to school or went to college before, and yes, I made some good friends and I had some good times. But I feel much bigger connection with my veterans. I don't know how to describe it, but it is what it is.
Well, we've got your back, and you got
Yeah,
my back. I got your back, Mike, and you
yeah,
can feel that, and I can feel
yeah.
that you got my back too. And I'm sorry, but that's a community where I think that's unique.
Correct.
Oh my goodness, I'm so glad that we've had this opportunity to finally get together. I know we've been kind of two ships passing in the
Yeah,
night because of your schedule and my schedule, but we made it. We
absolutely.
finally made it.
It's been so much of a pleasure to be here today, and thank you so much for having your patience and having me. So,
It's my pleasure to have you, and I look forward to perhaps working with you and your advocacy so that we can actually make a bigger impact in
absolutely.
some way. Well, thank you for being on here, and in just a few moments, I shall wrap up this episode. Don't
Okay.
go away. I'll be right back.
I won't.